supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space.
What does it take to convince you that the dead do not always rest in peace?
This episode has been brought to you by Broad's Beard Care, premium beard oil made right here in Central Florida in the town of Winter Garden by Kelly Broad himself. Go to broadsbeardcare.com, use promo code 3beards with a capital B, and you're going to save 20% off it. And make sure you check out our signature 3B blend while you're there. And before we introduce it, real quick, we had somebody brought to us. They wanted us to try and give them a shout out a little bit. So we have this water, RX alkaline water, that we're supposed to try on air and see what we think. So we're just crack that open.
It's good.
It's water.
It's water.
It's good.
It's
it
water.
Really is.
It's water. Yeah, it's good. It's alkaline water. So I said to try it. Check them out on at Drink RX Water, and you can Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So give them a check. So there's that little plug for them. At this time, we got introduced to a band out of Asheville, North Carolina. We had our last show last week when we were talking with Boone Froggatt from Otis, and I got a message from a Nestor Idler, and he was like, "Man, I would love to be on the show if you can make time." And we just actually had this little window available this Wednesday, and so I messaged him, and he was like, "Yeah, definitely we'll be right on." He goes, "But it's not going to be me." I'm like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." So it's like, he books it, and he goes, "But the guitar players, they're going to be there." And so at this time, I want to welcome, you're looking at the screen, we're going to kind of go from left to right. We've got, in the blue shirt right there, we have Chris, lead guitar. We have the guy hiding in the back in the red is Adam, the drummer. Kind of fitting because the drummer's usually in the back. So it's kind of fitting that he's back there in the back. And then we got JJ, rhythm guitar, and also backup vocals. And the one that's not with us is Nestor. He's the lead vocalist. So welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Welcome.
Delay.
Sounds like we might have a little bit of delay. I was just saying, welcome to the show.
Probably.
So we might have some technical.
Yeah. During the intro.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, during the intro, they had them still up, and then a new John came in. I'm like, oh, so I swapped them out real quick.
There we go. We kind of hear some talking there.
I'm just gonna say this Chinese food is amazing. Brought to you by East Walk, family-owned business. You don't see them often. They're not next to every single Publix here in Central Florida.
That's one of those while we're waiting for the reboot here. I usually go to a couple other places here in the Central Florida area. I can hear them.
While they reboot, I'll go grab some RX water.
All right, there you go.
Water.
Like mine from the car.
You want some more, Austin?
No, I'm good. I got some in the car. I forgot.
So what we got going on for everybody? Well, I said while we're waiting on this, we took our foray into music last week, and just trying it out. And I was willing to give this a try again. And when he messaged me, I was like, all right, well, this is the other side of the spectrum, from Southern space rock to an alternative metal, like they describe face melting metal. And so I messaged Javier Perez, who was on last week, and I was like, do you know these guys? Like, yeah, I actually just interviewed Nestor, the lead singer. I'm like, so what do you think? And he's like, oh, really like their music. Great guy, great guy. I think, it'll be a great interview. So I booked him, and I said, absolutely, if we can get you guys in, I'd love to give you a plug because, especially these artists right now, you have like Nova Omega. There's another one that reached out to us, you know, and I think it's Strike the Tower was her name. And what I wanted to do, what I thought about this was, well, if we can at least give them the forum to get their word out, get that people can get their message out, so that way they can know where to see these guys, where to visit, where to go. You can check them out at novaomegaband.com is their website, or you can even send them a message, novaomegaband@gmail.com. And you can reach them, get them. And they've got YouTube channel, same thing. They're on all the social media, so you can go check them out. And we've subscribed to their channel as well. And they said they've got a couple of videos out there to give you a nice sample. And if you're in the Asheville, North Carolina area, you can check them out, especially right now. When we get them back in, we'll hopefully be able to find out like what's their plans, what they got going on here in the future. But
a music guy, I listen to music. I don't know, like you said, like Southern Rock from Boone Froggatt. I don't know what they are, but they remind me a lot. I might be wrong here, of like Slipknot type of, not too screamo, but like that really good rock. I just can't. Who else would you like remind you of? It's not Slipknot, but it has that like death metal to it, but you can still understand them, And it's not. I want to compare them to not Hollywood Undead, Disturbed.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to, they sound really good.
Rest in peace, anybody that had their headphones up too loud there for Chris. Chris decided to blow out your eardrums right there.
Hey,
I think
got disconnected. You have like bad.
Yeah, no.
I figure out if we can get hooked up to like a Wi-Fi signal of some kind.
All right, are you guys able to hear us okay?
Just give us 1 minute.
Let's see if I can find it.
No, you're good. Because we can hear you guys. It just once we, but obviously the critical piece is for you to hear us.
My beard goes to my collar. His is like, down here. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's got you beat right now by a mile.
Hopefully mine will be half that size by my mom's wedding, so I can actually have a good beard. No, but what would you compare it to, Craig? I'm having a hard time pinpointing it.
The one song like I listened, that I could listen to a couple times, Blinded by them. I would say their sound, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, Parkway Drive.
No.
That group, their sound was a little comparative to that, for me. Can you guys hear us now?
Oh,
yeah, much better.
There we go. All right. So we were just talking about how Chris is putting our beards to shame, absolute shame.
Look at that thing.
So we need to get you some Bratz Beard Care stat to help keep that thing going.
I gotta
that's amazing.
See what's going on.
That's amazing.
Kelly's is like that too. Mine's just like,
I'm not even sure who's playing guitar anymore. If it's him or it's the beard.
That's right.
So I'm another guitarist.
Now,
big bearded fella.
I am the non-bearded guitarist.
Well, that's the thing. And one of the things, like, I'm not sure if the guys saw this or not. You guys are father and son, and that is not a common thing in rock. Yeah, it's just so normally, and because I think I might be wrong, but one of the only other times I've ever seen like that duo was during Van Halen, when you had Eddie and Wolfgang playing at the same time. And that's, so that was one of the things. So when I heard that you guys are father and son, I'm like, that is pretty cool, because it's usually the dad that, that doesn't want anything to do. It's like, seriously, get to the garage. You don't usually have father and son, thrashing it, shredding the guitars out in the garage together. So that was pretty cool. So
turn that mess down.
Yeah. So how did you guys find this mutual passion? Was it just something that helped you guys with your bond, or was this something that just over time just kind of happened?
So when I was about 12 years old, I was really inspired by him and by like Jeff Loomis and stuff like that. several guitarists, and at the time, I just always saw him play. Like he used to play like a lot of classical too, like classical pieces. So I really got inspired by that. So at that point, it was really just I thought it was really cool. And then over time, that it took a while for us to get to a band together. This is our first like project we've ever really done together. But we've made some like side songs, like just kind of just screwing around. But this is like our first like actual band that we've been together in, and yeah, it's definitely helped with bonding with each other because we get to spend a lot more time together and things that we love together at the same time. So, yeah,
it's cool to watch them play together too.
Yeah.
Feed off.
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah, that's
dynamic. Man. I like.
yeah.
it a lot.
So how did you guys meet up with Nestor and Adam there to form this group?
Well, we were with another singer and drummer, and although the singer was very creative, sometimes he couldn't sing what he was writing.
That's a problem.
I mean, it is. We felt really bad, if you want to know the truth.
Oh yeah.
Moving a band member it sucks. It freaking sucks. I hate it with a passion. And but me and him were progressing very quickly, and we thought that we maybe had caught on to a sound that could actually maybe break into the mainstream. I mean, if that's true or not, I don't know, but it's nice to think that it could be true. So we removed him, and then I put an ad out, and I found Nestor. And then Nestor and the three of us really clicked really fast. Believe it or not, me and Chris, we like a lot of the same bands, but our style of playing is actually very different. I taught him. And Nestor's style is also different. And what we found was combining those three really seemed to give us something new, something different that we haven't really heard. We listen to a lot of music. At that point,
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, keep going. No, sorry. I was just going to expand on it, but yeah, keep going. I apologize.
No, that's okay. And then for a little further on down the road, we had some personal issues with the drummer, and then he was having personal issues in his life, and we thought that he needed to maybe take some time and try to correct those issues that he was having. I don't want to get into the details, obviously, but we thought it was good for him because we were starting to really pick up and be busy and a lot of practice and recording and stuff. So it was taking time away from him and his family. So we found another bassist and we found another drummer. We had some severe writing differences. So kind of broke back off to the three of us and give us a fresh start. Then we had met Adam, and he blew my mind as soon as I played with a lot of drummers through my life, and he's definitely the best drummer I've ever played with.
Yeah. That's cool. That's the key. I mean, it's just kind of what we talked to because we're kind of new to this music interview thing. So for me, it was I'm trying to when I was formulating like what kind of how I wanted to do it, because our method is different. Like we don't do your normal like 15-minute rattle off the talking points. Who's your label? Who's do all this. It was I'd like to get to the things of like what makes the people their story. Yeah, their stories. And for me, that's really cool because you guys. I mean, if you guys are going to do this, I mean, right now you're really having, especially COVID has just absolutely killed artists all across the board. I mean, it makes it so hard. And so, even like for you guys, if you guys don't like each other, I can only imagine how hard that is trying to dig down, trying to find, go to gigs and try to find places to play if you don't want to be with each other.
Can you hear us?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part of that.
Oh no, that's fine. No,
I'll go off you, Craig, too. You guys, it says you started the band in the late 2019, so that was like almost a year ago. And he was talking about just starting the brand new band with COVID and stuff. Pretty much like you started the band right before COVID, and then now COVID hit. Could you guys like, all right, well, we'll just quit. We can't do anything right now. Did that hurt your spirits, or you're like, we're gonna keep fighting through it, we're gonna keep recording, keep going?
We got to play one show.
Oh my God.
One freaking show. And we're like,
Ah,
that's actually where I met Adam, because Adam's from another band that we're kind of combining together. But yeah, one show. No, once COVID hit, we were like, oh, cool. Now we have time to slow down. Let's finish songs. Let's get into the studio. And let's start getting on social media and actually doing the things we're supposed to do, because we're procrastinators. So luckily, my wife, who does a lot of social media, because if it wasn't for her, nobody would probably know who we are. But we actually took it as an opportunity to tighten up and make some of the band member changes that we thought we had to make, and get ready for when COVID lifts, which will hopefully be soon.
Oh, okay.
I'm sick of COVID. It needs to go away.
yeah, it's
So y'all thought about hosting like an online concert?
We have done experience, but I'm going to tell you, they're more stressful than playing live.
Really?
They could always look back.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
wow,
oh, look at that mistake I made. That's awesome. Now it's like there forever. I love it.
It really sucks.
That's awesome.
No, we had 6, 7, or 8 gigs like all lined up for the year, and because of just completely got destroyed, and a lot of these venues right now, are struggling because of it, and it's like really unfortunate. There's going to be a lot of venues that they're not going to be existing anymore because of that.
Now we're lucky because we have a show this weekend.
oh wow.
Show the 20th. We just played a festival. But we're not going to book anything else until like maybe May. We are going to be in partnership with a label. I can't give that information out now because the label is going to want to do the PR part of it.
Mm.
So that's exciting too. But yeah, we're going to go back in the studio at the end of January. So we're going to get these new members up and going, and then force them to go into the studio where they feel the most uncomfortable. And,
Nice. So how do you do that during the COVID era, with the stage? Because, before you used to be able to shake water all over like your fans as you're right there. Now, what do you use? Lysol? To start spraying away. It's like, what do you do? But no, that's because I've also got that question, because that was one of the ones I wanted to ask you guys is, because I've been thinking about that, about even like the venue that you guys have played before, of having like some sort of live stream where you're still on stage. And then you have somebody like a fan that just can pay to, tune in and actually watch a concert as opposed to being there.
We have done a few of them, but I'm going to tell you the energy for that is
it's hard.
garbage.
Yeah.
And with a live show, it's the energy of me coming off stage or Chris coming off stage and harassing people that really like makes the show. Like a lot of bands don't understand. Like we watch a lot of bands. I'm not putting anybody down, so please don't take it that way. And they're very, very good musicians, but they just stand there and play, not understanding that when you're playing live, the show is actually more important than the music. Your music shines in the studio. Your show is where you personally shine.
Yeah.
And the last couple shows, I've been off stage running around doing things. We got a little bit smaller crowds, but I think at the last festival was 300 people?
Yeah, something like that.
Damn.
Not too bad.
No, that's really good.
Yeah. And, we also had a couple promoters from across the country there, and they promoted it pretty well. And remember, every state has different lockdowns, so we haven't been really playing in North Carolina. We've been playing in South Carolina and Georgia. No, we haven't hit Tennessee yet.
You can keep coming out to Florida. We're open.
Yeah, right now Florida doesn't have too many lockdowns. That's why everybody from all the fight communities all come in here, because we're the only place that you can actually do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
crazy.
No.
We got fighters from everywhere. Like California's locked out everywhere. They're coming to Central Florida.
That's awesome.
But what you're saying, like with the energy, that's what for when you're watching a band, that's one like key, especially if you have just a solo front man. That's what you want, that's what you need. You need somebody that can can rile up the crowd, get the mosh pit going. You name it, get that going.
Yeah, if you don't have that interaction with the crowd, you might as well just play guitar in your room.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, I'm not putting anybody down. Everybody has their own deal and stuff like that. So, you know, it is what it is. But I love that energy.
So, what kind of, like I said, you don't want to who was, you don't have to say names. I hate to do that because, like I said, I don't want to put you guys on the spot because I was going to ask you, it's like, what would you say was the worst band you had to share a stage with?
Oh, we're not.
See, that was the kind of question I wanted to ask, but like I said, I don't want to put you guys in that kind of spot because then it's just all of a sudden, next thing I know, Three Beers Podcast has started some Asheville, North Carolina band war.
We call it the shenanigans hour. So if you want to talk about it.
But here's the thing though, right? Like, we will not name names, but we can say, like there was this Facebook post. I can't remember what exactly said, but it was basically just talking about what people hate about like what local bands do sometimes, and like one of them was like, taking forever to set up, do sound check, and then they still sound bad, like stuff like that.
Yeah. We did happen to run into a band that pretty much fit that whole list.
It happens. Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere, and sometimes some people literally just don't know. So it happens.
And
so we'll throw you a lifeline. Who was your favorite one to play with? How about that? Because there you go.
I don't know if we have a favorite. I mean, we just played with a lot of like a lot of our shows. We've had like several just really good bands.
Yeah, we've been blessed on that, to be honest with you.
That's cool.
Really, really good bands. I don't want to name drop because then they won't play with us anymore. But yeah, we've been blessed. The majority of the bands that we have played with have definitely rocked the stage. And we've been able to watch them and pick up things too, and
nice.
like, bring them into our show and say, "Hey, look at that's working. That's really good." Because that's what this is all about, right? It's just getting out there and getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is my first like actual band.
Yep.
So I learned a lot, like for sure. Especially like if I went and looked at the first time I went on stage versus now, it's a pretty big difference, and you just always learn things through time. And you watch other bands play and you're like, oh, that's really freaking cool. I want to do that.
You don't do that. There's been a lot of, oh, that's not
good. So when are you going to get Nestor to do the scissor, the David Lee Roth scissor kick off the amps?
Oh, he better be practicing that stuff, man. I'm not even going to play.
Yeah, it's. Oh, look, you got the buddy behind you there. That's cool.
Mine are hidden. Don't come in here.
That video, that guy, he I can't remember what his name is, but he had like auto tune on his voice, right? And he fell off the stage, and he fell, and he was still singing, so he was like, "Oh." You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, it was just. Yeah, because it's like a normal thing where you just normally somebody would just be like, oh, it was like perfectly auto tuned. It just had like the tone. Oh.
I don't remember who it was, but it was some rapper.
Oh God, I forgot about that. That was one of those viral ones that popped up.
Oh God, you see, Mark said.
Like my favorite thing to watch.
Come on, tell me he's getting a beer. Come on. I see the fridge open up. Please tell me he's gonna crack open a beer right there. See, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're gonna be rock stars, we kind of need to play that part.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Please tell me he's not gonna come up there and crack open a Fresca or a Diet Coke. I'm like, come on, don't do it.
Guys.
The problem now you made him. he would have looked stupid without a beer.
But in all honesty, the most important thing when we started was at least for me, was putting the most talented people I could around him.
Nice. That's fantastic.
That's my intention. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely invested and emotionally connected to the band and the music because I love it. But for me, he begged me for months, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not jamming with you. You're an asshole.
Watch him play.
You know what?
So fluid. It's fun to play with. There's definitely a lot of kids.
Nice.
being
Well,
born.
that's what.
You know how
Yeah.
20-year-olds are,
You-
right? They know everything. So he didn't need me. He can just do it himself.
So have you can definitely you're very good yourself.
Yeah. Guess it
Well,
was.
it's that old saying. You know, a wise man knows that he always has something to learn. A fool is the one that says he doesn't need to.
Well, you're
Absolutely.
you're an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, that was a little harsh. Yeah. So we had a question there. It's like, did you guys? They were asking if you had any influence from Judas Priest or Deep Purple in your sound.
Absolutely.
I love Deep Purple. I especially love the voice, you know.
Rich Blackmore's in it.
Yeah, and Richie Blackmore is a really awesome guitarist. But here's the thing, like, you really wouldn't know he was like almost a savant by him playing, because the type of tone that he uses on his guitar, it has very little sustain. So like trying to play with something with like no sustain at all and be so clean is like really difficult.
We are guitar nerds, just so you're aware. So if
Yeah.
you go into that realm with us, we will start giving you specs. I don't think that's going to be good for the broadcast.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that was the joke from last episode where we did that. You know what Javier brought up is millitones. You know, for the sound, and I'm like, I'm first thing I'm like, dude, it's just, you're gonna have to help me out, because right now the only thing that's popping in my head is Transformers. You know, it's one of those. I'm like, I do not profess to be a music aficionado where I can tell you the difference. I just know it's like when I listen to a sound, I like it. I really, I can tell like nuances, like when people like to play with each other, but I couldn't tell you, like, my brother's the same way. He wrote the guitar part for our theme music, and he just sits down, he just starts messing with pedals, and I'm like, I couldn't tell you which tone he used or which pedal he did, but it's part I like listening to you guys, and especially guys when you explain it, because you can see the passion. You can see it's just not three guys that just one guy grabbed the sticks, the other two guys grabbed the pick, and they just start, we'll see if we come up with something. It's like you have three artists.
About 2 to 3 hours of argument between the two of us.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's,
Couple weeks. So
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
learn all their songs in like 2 weeks. So it's a trial by fire for me.
Yeah. Our wife,
There you go.
like, you guys bicker, and I'm like, of course we do. We're father and son. I go, but when it's all done, the music's pretty good. So let's just keep with that. It's all,
Oh yeah, I was changing the oil and tires on my car, and I put on one of the songs. I can't remember if it was "Blinded" or "Forgotten," and then the drum solo was going. I'm like, God damn, that's awesome, And the guitar solo, I'm like, these fucking people are awesome. But
Hey, think
Thank
about
you.
I'm trying to think of Yngwie Malmsteen, the dude, wicked guitarist, but he couldn't explain anything to what he's
Nah,
doing.
he doesn't.
He really looks. He literally, if you ever seen him try to teach, like, this guy just goes, "Oh, it's fine, easy. If you just look at it like this."
And just look at it going, what the fuck was that?
I know, and you're like, ding, how was that? That was.
Have you heard about the donut thing?
No, he was. There was this guy. I guess it was one of his personal assistants, and Yngwie was just not in the mood. I've heard he's kind of,
He's a dick.
he's kind of a jerk, but he was in like an airport, and this guy walked up to him, and he's like, "Hey, would you like a donut?" And he goes, "Donuts? I don't like donuts. Get the hell away from me with your donuts."
I want to be rich and famous so I can do that over
Oh, just be in the green room and demand that all your Skittles are separated by color. I want only yellow Skittles in this bowl. And you're like, oh God, it's that drummer again. You want all the Skittles separated out.
Oh, Eddie Van Halen actually had like a particular part in his contract to all of like his venues that he had to have his M&Ms.
Yeah.
I think it was like one color of M&Ms, because he wanted to make sure, and like it's pretty well, it's a good idea. Like they used it so that if they went on to like a venue and they didn't see that, they knew they didn't read the contract, because if they would have seen it.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think every artist wants that, wants to know what that's like. I mean, my wife and me used to work at a casino. Like I said, I won't drop names or anything, but the artist that she did her stuff for, he demanded that there were 6 pairs of black cashmere socks waiting for him in his hotel room.
Did
Specifically,
he on at a time, like stack them all on top of each other, or did he
that was just part of his list of demands. One of the items on there was 6 pairs of black cashmere socks had to be there, lined out, ready for him.
Yeah, because that's.
So I don't know.
Did they have
Maybe you got to.
Or were they?
I don't know.
Look at the background. He's dancing.
Maybe it's a foot sweat issue, and you got to keep changing socks. I don't know.
Man, we entertain, guys. We entertain even if we're not on stage.
That's awesome.
I know.
So
That was.
Well, no,
that's fantastic.
I'm just I like music. I'm not even a novice. I'm just a noob. I don't know anything. But like you guys are coming in at a good time period because I mean, so many rappers, so many country music artists, so many pop artists, and I was born in '95, and the only people I listened to was like Linkin Park, System of a Down, Disturbed. There's no new bands anymore, and especially with your unique music, it's nothing but take off from here.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like me and Chris, this is light. We like Cyrus, All That Remains. I mean, really
Nevermore.
heavy stuff. And we had a long discussion about it, and we were talking to other bands and stuff like that, and we're like, "There's no money there." Mm-hmm. And and if we want to do this for a living, we have to do what we have to do to get as many people to like the music as possible. Somebody should turn around to Hetchfield, right?
Still have fun.
Yeah, it's still have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But turned around to Hetchfield and said, "You guys are sellouts." What did Hetchfield say?
He said that he's like, "Yeah, I saw it stadiums."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You got right now what's making money is old bands from the early 2000s, and I did not coin this term, but it's called butt rock. Think about when you turn on the radio station and they're like, nothing but rock. That's the bands that are making money right now still because there's like people want to listen to a particular thing and labels want to put out what they want to put out into society, and those bands right now, believe it or not, are making bank. They are a lot. So people, they call them sellouts, whatever you want to call them, but hey, they're the ones making money. Look at John Mayer. I mean, I know he's not a rock or metal guy, but he's definitely an artist that is like flourished.
I've always figured that kind of came out of just like more of like a jealousy factor, when people threw out the label like sellout. It's like I'm honestly saying that when those guys say, "Well, you're just sellout," I'm like, I'm pretty sure if a promoter came to you and said, "We're going to sell out this, this stadium," that you're not going to tell them no.
Yeah,
because
that from like people, everyone calls them gatekeepers. Like it's the heavier you get, typically the more it is, and it's kind of sad too because even it's on the punk scene today too. Like it's kind of funny because punk came out to be this anti-establishment, like we do what we want. We don't even need to be good at what we do. We just do what we want.
Yep.
And now it's like those same people have their monocle and their top hat, and they're going like,
yeah. But but Green Day would be a perfect example of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's we're not doing that. We're against the man. All of a sudden. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw you roll up in a tour bus getting off of a Learjet at your new stop, and I'm pretty sure that's not what you were saying you were going to be doing.
Yeah, and then there's the other side of it too, which not the side of it, but the other part of it too, which is like oh, you're not real metal, or you're not real this, or you're not real that.
They turn around to us like, you guys aren't metal. I'm like, dude, I'm playing a 7-string, tuned down half staff with an angle head with my distortion all the way up. You go fuck yourself.
What is I was just going to say, you guys, when we were having the technical difficulties right there, they were asking me what my person, and maybe you guys will tell me I'm crazy with this thing, but I felt, do you guys know who Parkway Drive is?
Yeah, we know who they are.
Your song Blinded and stuff, you that sound reminded me a lot of that style.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And yeah, and that's, you know, and that was it, because I was trying to explain to him, like, what sound? I'm like, that's if I
We're
had
going
to
back
pick,
and forth, you know.
yeah, if I had to pick a group, you know, a sound that I could closely label it to him, I would say it was probably between Nestor's, the way he sings, the way he does stuff. It probably the closest thing to me would be like Parkway Drive.
Yeah.
So that's,
I always
you know,
felt we were like Bush walked over to the singer for Born of Osiris and kicked him in the balls. And then you combine those two things together. But yeah, I mean, go right. But we want to be poppy too, right? The melodic choruses and stuff like that. And I mean, quite honestly, Chris is the lead guitarist. I can basically play anything he can play. But I've stepped back.
There it is. I was waiting for that.
that's awesome.
See, now you're understanding why those comments came out of my mouth.
Damn it, man. I love the music, man. It sucks you only have like 4 songs on YouTube, but I was like, damn, this is so good. It's great. You don't hear this kind of music anymore because Metallica is just fading out, and you don't hear Linkin Park anymore. It's like, come on, man. It's like there's no more bands anymore. Some good bands.
This needs to be your motto.
Oh, hell yeah. That is, you know what? If I ever find that picture, it's going to be on my freaking Facebook.
Yeah, I'll get it here and I'll send it to you guys. Like I said, but I have that one saved. But yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
a, you know, nuclear explosion while you're kicking a rhino in the balls while shredding the guitar. So there you go.
We got to figure out a way to start playing music on here, man, because I just want everybody to listen. It's so good.
Well, I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Believe it or not, it really takes a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Blind did, geez, that took us like, we had like, somebody else had written the song that was in the band, and it doesn't sound anything like it does now. And me and Chris took 6 months and morphed that song
into something else.
into something completely else. So it does take time. We don't really write. We're pretty good at theory, and we understand the musical side of it very well. But you also got to have that feeling and that groove in.
Mm.
So it takes time.
Yeah, honestly, like though I find it like it makes me in awe that some bands, you know, they can come out with an entire album in just a fiscal year. Like they're just, I just had a 10-song album that I made in 1 year, and I'm like, are you gonna play it the same though? Like 3 years down the road?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
We don't do that with our stuff.
yeah. Most of our songs, like even the songs we have recorded, they sound very similar, but like but there are always differences. You're always gonna be like if you ever heard King Diamond's a great example. Like listen to old King Diamond, like Conspiracy and them, and then now listen to their live versions that they had literally just a year ago, and they're completely different. It's almost like they're different songs. You know?
And you want to do that anyway.
So is there?
Right? Because you
So
want
is
to get the audio. If somebody comes to your show more than twice, it gets boring. So you definitely want to be doing new stuff and new things with your music as you're going on. It's like never ever played the same solo twice ever. So every time you went to a Frank Zappa show, you were seeing something unique and new every single time. And we think that that's really important to keep people.
Yeah, his show, like you said, those Frank Zappa's a whole. And you could do a whole episode just on his style. The things he'd come up with. I mean, I don't think I don't know if you could ever, recreate his thing. I mean, it was Pablo Picasso of music.
Right.
Think about Black Page. Who's written something like Black Page?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It's just he literally sat down and was like, all right, what is the most difficult and obnoxious thing I could write? It would be so annoying to play. No one would ever want to play it. That is what he did.
Yes.
Well, and look at Frank Zappa didn't just give us music; he gave us Steve Vai, right?
Yeah.
So, and you got some seriously talented musicians coming from his bands. Also,
Well, I mean, Steve Vai, he did give Steve Vai, but
he played
Steve Vai also was trained by
Joe
Satriani.
Satriani. Yeah, Joe Satriani.
God.
Yeah, he taught him though when they were really young.
Yep.
They lived really close to each other, and Joe Satriani was like Steve Vai was talking about him in this interview that he had with Anderton's Music, and he was talking about like how he's like dude, Joe has always just been this good. He's like, I have no idea how, but he's always been awesome. He's like Joe, I believe, taught him when Joe was only like 17 or 18,
Yeah.
and Satriani was like 15. Like,
Yep.
like, isn't that crazy? Being taught by,
Wow.
like, an amazing guitar player like
And
that.
then he goes on to play with Zappa, and then he has his own, his career, which is still building.
Yeah.
So
Guys,
before
that's-
all our guitars are stems from the Gem.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, it's
before you go on
crazy.
stage, do you have any like weird traditions? This is like one of the things I've been dying. Like, I mean, this is a stage fright, or do you have any weird traditions before you go on stage? And is there things that you play on stage that you can't figure out how to play when you get back home? The other band we had on last week said there's things that we play in the studio practicing, and then when we get on stage, we can't figure out how to play it again. It's just like a total brain
Oh,
fart.
I only just have a rule, like,
Thank you.
yeah, no, I don't smoke, I don't drink or anything.
Yeah,
before I get up
neither of
on
us do.
stage, like, period, like unless,
Nice.
hey, you want half a shot? I'll be like, fine, I'll take half a shot. That's about it. Besides that, I always have a rule for myself that, like, at least 6 hours prior to any gig, that none of that happens. Because the worst thing you want to be is, Into the Jungle. You ever seen that video of Slash messing up Into the Jungle in the beginning?
Yep.
He's like,
In the jungle.
and everyone,
Yeah, you just.
they're like,
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, we've all.
I do a lot of stuff on stage that I don't do in the studio, but I don't care. And I mess up a lot more on stage because I tend to run around and do something. And again, I don't care. I think it all goes back to giving the show. The people are going to remember the show. Listen, if people want perfect music, I got tons of music on Spotify. They can go music
Nice.
all long. But if they want a show, then come and see us live because that's what we're all about.
That's cool. Well, guys, I will really want to appreciate you coming on. Like I said, this was fantastic. Everybody goes novaomegaband.com. Check them
YouTube.
out. Support them. Go to YouTube, subscribe to their channel, watch their stuff. Comment. Give them some support. Just tell them the things that you like about what you really love about their music. And I know how that means a lot just to anybody to get positive feedback on what.
About our fans.
yeah.
Yep. And then if you need to contact them, it's novaomegaband at gmail.com. So, JJ, Chris, Adam, who's vanished on you. So we will.
He's playing with the dogs.
It's weird.
He's over there taking care of. He's over there taking care of the charges there, the dog. So
Hey, kind of like he's a quasi bassist. He's got the personality, but he's a drummer.
that's awesome.
Damn it, man.
Just tell him he's a good boy and to start dropping the beat on the floor.
They can only play the floor.
Yep.
But
Just-
I want to thank you guys for having us on. I hope we were somewhat entertaining for you.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was the good time. And like I said, I was glad that we were able to do this. And I said I really look forward, to keeping up with you guys and seeing how things are going. And anybody in the Asheville, North Carolina area that's watching this knows these guys. And you play bass, and you would like to. I know they're trying to find a bass player right now. So like I said, that's other. So if you can play bass and you feel like you can keep up with these three thrashers, like I said, you might be able to do it. So, guys, have a fantastic night. I said, tell Nestor, hello. I said, hopefully next time we can have you guys on, we can have him on as well. And have a fantastic night. Stay warm, and we will rock on later.
See ya.
Have a good night. This episode was brought to you by Broad's Beard Care. As always, premium beard oil made right here in Florida.
Okay.
You check out our premium blend, the signature one that he made up for us, our 3B blend. You buy a bottle of that, you're not only supporting us, you're helping support a local craftsman here
Beardo.
in the Florida area. And we got to have a screw up somewhere. So that's all that matters.
It's Thanksgiving, man. I'm ready to go. I'm already on holiday. I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Everything's going wrong.
I'm ready for turkey.
I'm just ready to go to bed.
Once again, Nanny Cakes 407 on Facebook. Go to 407-923-2898. You can't go there. You got to call there. You got to call that number. Yeah, give her a call in the Central Florida area. It's mention that you want to be, for some reason, associated with us Three Beards, and she's going to feel some pity for you and give you a discount on your cake to hopefully wash those sorrows away. So amazing cake right here in Central Florida area. Fantastic. Go to the social medias, threebeardspodcast.com, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, YouTube, like, subscribe, please. Go to patreon.com/threebeardspodcast so you can become a beardo along with us. So everybody, once again, RX water, thank you for the free water to try that out. Like I said, the water tastes really good. I mean, it's nothing that, like I said, if somebody goes, well, is this going to be bad? I'm like, no. I said, it tasted really well. So I said, it's,
we got to plug
has electrolytes.
It's not plugging it, but go watch the episode on Netflix with Zac Efron when he went to and described the different waters. It's important, man. Like our purified waters and natural waters. It's crazy. There's a difference, but that's why it's good about this water. It may be just water, but it's pH balanced to where it, for you in your body. So,
and thanks
stop
again,
drinking purified water.
Yeah. So thanks again, Nova Omega, for coming on. Chris showing us all off of what it's like to actually have a real beard, because that was impressive. I mean, that thing. What? God,
you're lucky I keep cutting mine, Craig. I think I could get there.
I mean, he's a young Billy Gibbons there, man. I mean, look at that beard going on right there. I mean, it's like now all he just needs is the car and the women to go with it, and the guitar. And he said he's got the Billy Gibbons thing going on. So, Nova Omega, guys, I appreciate it. That was fantastic. Everybody have a fantastic night. We will see you later.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving and good night.